Hello there and welcome here at Professor Herman Manyora's channel. I'm your host here at The Big Question and I'm joined by the man himself, Mr. Herman Manyora. How are you doing, sir?
Thank you, I'm doing well.
Okay, so the question for today is coming from a tweet that you tweeted a few days, I think 2 days ago, and you said that you had a feeling that Musalia Mudavadi, Moses Wetangula will team up with Raila and Uhuru in the race for Raila in the State House. What are the odds?
This was informed by my reading of the situation.
Okay.
I looked at Uhuru, the master chess player, and I thought, what is this? I think Uhuru wanted to focus on Kalonzo first.
Okay.
And having succeeded in his moves, made Kalonzo become a team player, part of the Azimio play. I was thinking his next attention will be Mudavadi and Wetangula.
Okay.
Then I asked myself, the efforts that Uhuru spent trying to convince Kalonzo, doesn't he just need half of the same effort to get Mudavadi?
Okay, I don't want us to dwell so much on the question that I'm going to be asking you, but Kalonzo doesn't seem satisfied with the decision that they made.
You know, when a deal is made perhaps quickly,
Okay.
there will always be residual issues.
Okay.
So they are dealing with residual issues. Yeah. And then don't forget also, when Kalonzo goes into this deal, not everybody is happy. In fact, everybody around him was against it. So he is also managing that. It's a question of loss. You know, loss or grief, it has stages. So this is just a manifestation of that.
Okay.
You go through the pain. Pain is not a small thing to handle.
Okay.
And especially people piling pressure on you. Don't go, then you have gone.
Okay.
Then they come and, you know, you even get a headache. Having to deal with these people. Having to handle the reality of the moment. It can cause some little confusion. But again, in the deal making, a deal making is also not a simple thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So around the same time that you tweeted, I'm not quite sure where Cleophas Malala was addressing from, but he said that the agreement that they had with UDA for them coming together was that Musalia Mudavadi gets the deputy position. And if this is not going to happen, they are threatening to leave. What do you make of this
That was
statement?
an implied. I don't
Okay.
think it was written.
Okay.
I think it's a gentleman's understanding. But even then, I doubt that Musalia was promised anything like that.
Okay.
No.
But you know, Cleophas Malala, we can't take his words for granted.
No, that's what they wanted.
Yeah.
That's what they imagined would happen.
Okay.
That's what they wished for.
Okay.
That's what they thought would be automatic. You see, this is what we call juvenile politics.
Okay.
So people like Malala are still juvenile. They
Okay.
are still neophytes, young politicians.
Okay.
You think just because Mudavadi has gone there, automatically they will be made running mate.
But how do these leaders tame the young politicians?
That's why we were wondering how was Mudavadi listening to young people like Malala.
Okay, so how
They
will you...
contributed then hugely to his going to Ruto.
Okay.
On the other side, many of these junior politicians, young in age and even in politics, tried to push Kalonzo. But Kalonzo stood his ground.
Okay.
He didn't go by what the young people were saying. All of them, Kinawambua, were pushing him. All of them. Never. But Kalonzo is a seasoned politician. He said no, but Mudavadi chose to listen to young people like Malala. And you can now see they are throwing a spanner into the works.
So how should the senior politicians tame the junior politicians from making, you know, controversial statements? Someone like Cleophas Malala.
Two ways. One, try to take them through the ropes. Let them know they are learning under your feet.
Okay.
Let them not get to a point where they imagine they can drive the process and drive you. That must be clear. You must make it very clear through your actions and deeds, and you know they must always know they are under you. You are guiding them.
Okay.
You give them space to speak, but the final decision will always be made by you. Once that is clear, they know their place. They will play a good role. They will advise you. They will assist you, but they know where the line is.
Okay.
That beyond this line, they are supposed to shut up.
Okay.
Yeah. Number two, this is Kenya. Most of these junior politicians also want to live good life like their senior counterparts.
Okay.
They are in Kitengela, Mlolongo. They also want to move to Karen.
Okay.
You know, this is Kenya, and we know this to be true. So it is very easy for them to be tempted to receive monies from different players to confuse them. So you must be aware of that.
Okay.
And you must have sessions with them so that they know there's this need for values. You must stand for something. Don't just think they will go through life knowing that. You take them through that as a senior politician, because they will be bought. And on your part, and let us be also very crude about this, also don't be too mean.
Okay. So you're saying that
you are a senior politician, you are Mudavadi, you are Raila, you are Uhuru, you are Ruto. You have a lot of resources. But there are people around you, very important to you. But they are struggling with life.
Okay.
There are many ways in which you can help them to ease the struggle. I'm not saying you give them money just pa.
Okay.
But you can facilitate them in small ways. The party can also come in handy kidogo. That way they are not as vulnerable as they are. So when you look at this, some of these young politicians, you can see money seems to be playing around. You can look at them, what they are saying. You say, huyu ni kama amekula. Anaweza mwaga sumu kwa hii chakula. You can see. And in the fullness of time, people say this Manyora guy was right.
Okay, so what I'm reading from what you're saying is that the junior politicians are easily enticed.
Yeah.
And they can be easily be scooped out of a camp.
Young people, and the research was carried out sometimes back, I think, by the Daily Nation or Nation Media Group. And this young people will say that, and they didn't even have qualms about it. Okay. They want money. They want good things. They want a good phone. Okay. They want a good car. They want a good girl, if they're a man. Okay. They want to live in a nice apartment. And they are asked, does it matter how you get the money? They say, oh, heck, no. We just want the money. How we get it is not important. Okay. That's this Kenya today. We must change that. But as we try to change that, we must be aware that is the situation on the ground. Okay, so
whether or not the deputy position was on the table when the discussions were happening, now let's say Wetangula is given that position by Kenya Kwanza, how is it going to change the game for them? If he is given the deputy position.
To Weta the fifth?
Yeah.
First of all, that's too hypothetical. He will not be given for two reasons. One, this thing will go to Mount Kenya. There's no doubt. There's no doubt about it, and there's no point belaboring it. Okay. Number two, if they were to give it to Western, it can't be Mudavadi. It can only be Mudavadi, not Weta. So Weta the fifth cannot.
Okay. People are always joking and saying that I'll repeat. You have Musalia Mudavadi, you get Weta for free.
Yeah, buy Mudavadi.
So I'm trying to get, let's say, Musalia Mudavadi leaves. Is it likely for Moses Wetangula to be left out behind, or do they just move as a package?
If Mudavadi leaves, whether Wetangula remain behind or not, the entire thing will have collapsed. The little foothold they have in Western will disappear with that move. Okay. And that's what I'm saying. Let's not play down or underrate this noise from Malala. It's a dangerous card. Okay. It's very dangerous. But these are the people who push Mudavadi into UDA. Now, the way they are talking, even if Mudavadi doesn't finally move out, the damage is already caused. The few lawyers who are still thinking of following Mudavadi where he went are already having second thoughts. Okay. So that they must silence that Malala if they really want to take this thing to the next level.
Yeah, because the last time Malala spoke, they left Oka.
Yes.
Okay. Now, what does UDA lose when maybe, let's say, Moses Wetangula and Musalia Mudavadi leave the camp?
The little they have in Western, very little will be affected. Oh. But how little is it? Also remember,
how little is it?
It's insignificant. I think apart from Bungoma and Trans Nzoia, the rest of the Mlembe nation, even if Vihiga where Mudavadi comes from, I'm not seeing Ruto getting votes there. They're insignificant. Let's say if 200,000 people vote in Vihiga, Raila will get over 170. So that leaves less than 15% for Ruto. In Vihiga where Mudavadi comes from. Kakamega is an entirely different story. But it's Bungoma. Even last time, almost 50% of the votes went to Uhuru. So Bungoma is a little tricky. Okay. But now with Eugene and Wamunyinyi and Governor Wamatangi leading the onslaught for Azimio, that percentage will be reduced significantly. So if Mudavadi were to leave, even the remaining people like Didmas Baraza, to convince the lawyers there will be very difficult.
Okay.
Yeah. So they will get, on average, there's no way Ruto would, if Mudavadi left today, he would not get more than 10% on average of Western.
Okay.
With Mudavadi there, he could struggle to get up to 15, 18, 20%
Okay.
at most.
So in order for Musalia Mudavadi, Moses Wetangula to remain relevant in the politics, what should they do? What should be their next move, like towards the upcoming election?
You see, they went in the wrong direction.
Okay.
When you make a wrong move like that one, to correct it, to right it is not easy.
Okay.
The move they made was a wrong move, to go to UDA.
Okay.
They don't fit there.
Okay.
They don't belong there. They belonged to Azimio, or they would have remained in Oka and ensured they ran even if Kalonzo was on top of the ticket.
Okay.
With the Mudavadi deputy. It would have been a better option than going to UDA. So now that they went to UDA, I think they have lost it, if you ask me. Unless they come back like prodigal sons. You know, Mudavadi can go back to Raila as a prodigal son. Go to Uhuru, say, okay, in politics, we make moves. Sometimes we make wrong moves. My brothers, I've come back home.
Okay.
I think the little time I've stayed with Ruto, I don't think this is a team I can play in.
Okay.
So we accept us back. Let's move together. We have worked together before. Let's move together. Let's forget about the mistakes we made.
Okay.
The wrong moves we made. We all do that. And nobody among them has not made a move at one time or the other. Uhuru, Raila, everybody, one of them, they have made mistakes. So Mudavadi can go back and say, this is politics.
After all that they've been through with UDA, they went the other day.
A politician is not bothered about what they say today. Tomorrow just say a different thing and they look as if nothing happened. So Mudavadi, if he's my brother. If he came home and we were having a meal at home, I will tell him, my brother, do the right thing. Go to Raila and Uhuru. You lose nothing.
Okay.
Yes.
And as we come to the end of the conversation, are we likely to have the 2013 scenario where Musalia Mudavadi went all the way to the ballot?
No, that will be too late now. No, people will laugh at him. It will be laughable. That he could have done earlier, not now.
And if he goes to the ballot, who's going to receive
votes.
the damage? Is it Kenya Kwanza Alliance or is it One Kenya Alliance?
If he went now, because Kalonzo has left, Gideon has left. Okay. So basically you are saying he will go with Weta the fifth and they will not get 50,000 votes.
All right, well, that has been the conversation with Herman Manyora. Till we do have this conversation again, my name is Simon Irungu.